YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back. Hello, y'all. This is my very first outdoors video, and I'm propped up against the wall of Nina's house. But it's just a beautiful day outside, and I've never really, I don't know, I've never made a video outside before, and I wanted to, I don't know, get the experience of it. It's really lovely over here, y'all. This is just gonna be some random shit. That's all that is. So don't be expecting anything too phenomenal out of me today. I wanted to touch base with y'all and kind of give you some updates, let you know what was going on with me, see what was going on with y'all, and take it from there. I guess I really want to start by thanking y'all for the responses to my YQA APB. The issue that I was having with my oldest friend in the world, that I'm still having, but the advice that I got from y'all really, really meant a lot. I mean, really meant a lot to me. And I am implementing a lot of it. To a certain extent, I have to let her go. I mean, I have to let the situation go without letting her go in terms of her place in my life. Cue the car. I hope y'all heard me. There will be, in the words of Amadu, you're going to be hearing birds chirping and cars going by and little animals going to the bathroom. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, so I have to kind of let this aspect of her go until she's ready, if she's ever ready. I spoke to her yesterday, and I mean, it was like a 40-minute, like, monologue. Like, I literally didn't get a word in edgewise, and then I just had to go, so I was like, listen, I gotta go. But I love her. I want the best for her. I think, for me, the best solution is just, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to keep giving me bacon, I'm going to keep frying it, basically. If you're going to keep coming to me with this situation, I'm going to repeat what I've been repeating and reiterate what I've been reiterating, as long as the energy exists within me to do it. I'm not going to, you know, waste my breath, but at the same time, it's like, you've got to know what you're up against. I continue to say, I see greater possibilities for you than you currently see for yourself. I want the best for you. I want you to want more for yourself because you're capable of more. And that's the end of it. You know what I mean? It's not in my nature to just pacify somebody. Even when I suggested it as a possibility in that video, it's not who I am. I mean, I'm just not the kind of person who's, you know, if I'm not going to settle myself, how the hell am I going to let anybody else settle? Especially somebody that I care about. It ain't going down like that. So that's where that is. And if you'll, like, I realize on this random note that I'm looking a little pornographic right now with the one-shouldered number and everything like that. But as y'all can see, I have continued working on my tattoo. And it is done as of yesterday. The flowers have been colored in. The rose garden is complete. I don't know how well y'all be able to see this, but let me tilt you. Yeah. So we got some roses on the top, a couple roses and vines going down the arm, and of course the big rose at the bottom, and then of course the other side. Yeah. That's where that was, done by Scooter of Addicted to Ink in Louisville. An incredible artist, unbelievable work. And I'm really happy with the finished product. I always said that I wanted to turn this, my mother's portrait, into a half sleeve, and I wanted to do a frame around it, which obviously, as you can see, was done. And I wanted a rose garden around that to kind of suggest the idea that my mother is the center of the garden of my heart, you know. I saw it so clearly in my head, and Scooter actually really respected my vision and made it possible. So I'm very, very happy. I'm also very, very sore. This shit did not tickle, and that's what you need to know. I'm sore, I'm scabby, I'm a mess right now, but you know, it's gonna go through a really, really ugly phase, and then it's gonna be great. So I'm happy. Also, with regard to the to the video I did on the ballroom scene. Thank you, all of you, for your interest and for your responses, and for those of you that went ahead and researched me and checked me out. It's still kind of embarrassing to me. The thing is, okay, here's the deal. Here's the backstory. This may require another cigarette. I really didn't want to make that video. And the reason I didn't want to make that video is pretty simple. The thing is, I have been, you know, fairly extensively involved in the ballroom scene. Not as much as others. There are people that, like, live and breathe and that's all they have. They know who they are. But I've been, you know, a fairly active participant for a number of years. I mean, a decade plus easily. And I wanted, you know, my YouTube channel to be as far away from that as it could possibly be. I knew that I would get people who, you know, would, you know, look me up and find me through there or stumble upon me or whatever. It's not like I didn't want the ballroom scene to know that I had this. I just, you know, the ballroom scene as of right now, there are channels like the Vicky Gotti Show and The Dish with Dallas, and I mean, you know, the other channels that are, you know, pretty extensively involved in discussing ballroom related issues and ballroom personalities, doing interviews and things of that nature. They do a great job at what they do. Shouts to Vicky Gotti and shouts to Dallas. But I didn't want that. I just, you know, I didn't want to be one more name in the ring. And really, at that particular stage of my life, my passion was, and continues to be, and to a certain extent always has been, sort of about the empowerment of women and the fact that we often take ourselves for granted, and sort of how to move further up on the list of our priorities in terms of recognizing ourselves as someone worthy of the attention that we give others. So that's sort of where Jahira's mission was born out of, and that takes you kind of as far away from the ballroom scene as you can possibly be. So I didn't want to dip in that pool, but I had so many people saying, you know, even I vividly remember Amaru, like, I just looked you up and I saw all of your videos and wow, I didn't know that you did all that, and like people recognize, you know, and I mean, I am somebody, I guess, of note, you know, within that world. So hence the video. But yeah, I was fighting it tooth and nail for as long as I possibly could. But I do want to thank y'all for your responses. And I guess, yeah, this is where the cigarette comes in. I guess the foolish aspect of me was under the impression that once I had made my, I think it was my second confessions video and kind of like put that aspect of my life out there, that it would be done and over with, and I wouldn't have to necessarily like re-explain who I was. Well, not necessarily who I was, but let's just say how I got here. But I guess was not the case, because some of the responses, I guess people didn't know that, you know, I mean, you would think I have a better way of saying it, that there was a process involved to take me to what you see before you. And I'm such a dork. Yeah, so to all of you, hi. Sorry. And yeah, it occurred over time. But so there that is. Hopefully that's the last we'll have to necessarily discuss about it. But yeah, so that's kind of what's been up, you know, with me. On a more personal note, my foot is still falling asleep, y'all. I hate that feeling. They can stick a monkey on the moon, but they can't figure out how to keep feet awake. On a more personal note, there's got to be some of you that are wondering, like, how the hell has she been spending this much time at Nina's house? And why has she not been back to Boston? And I've been thinking about that, like, thinking about y'all, thinking about that. And I wanted to kind of offer the answer to that question. Those of you who are on my Facebook Subtastic page, the One Love Lounge, which you can always go to. Here we go with the shameless plug. Facebook.com/One Love Lounge. But those of you who are on there and who have seen the videos that I've made on there, sorry, y'all. Woo! Okay. Know the answer to this already, but for those of you who are not and those of you who don't, I am not going back to Boston. Yeah, I'm not going back to Boston. I actually, within about, I would say the first 3 weeks that I was here, after having experienced the tranquility, the views, the friendliness of the people of Louisville, had decided to make this my new home. And, yeah, I'm moving here. And the reasoning behind that is, I mean, there's a couple of reasons. You know, the fact that I'm surrounded by people who love me, Nina, of course, and her family, and the friends that I've made along the way. You know, I mean, of course, that's a huge consideration. But more so than that, it's, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And sometimes in your life, you have to do something drastic. Drastic and, in the eyes of everyone around you, completely irrational, in the hopes of gaining something better for yourself. I'm not married. I have no biological children. I am 32 years old, and I want more. I want more than the life that I've had, and I'm tired of being comfortable. I'm tired of being predictable, you know. I'm tired of my life, you know, there was a point where I just felt like my life was living me, and I wasn't living my life. I had no real sense of direction. And so a place like this, which offers you peace, real peace, a very true sense of peace, and would allow me to, you know, focus on work and focus on building my career and building my brand and doing the things that I need to do for myself, you know, seemed like and seems like the right thing to do. It feels right to me. Being here feels, I mean, probably the most right I've felt in quite some time. I will always have a great deal of love for Boston. I will always have a great deal of love for New York. You know, the busyness of it all. But right now, at this particular juncture in my existence, I need time. I need time where there's nothing else for me to do but what I have to do, if that makes any sense. So, here I am. I found a place. I have, well, at this point, I'm just waiting for my things to be shipped down from Boston. I have an apartment here that I will be moving into as soon as my stuff gets here. And, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm in a great place in my life. It always strikes me as kind of funny, y'all. God, I have been chatting for a minute. It always strikes me as kind of funny. And I mean, I'm not trying to take this to a spiritual level. But when people pray for, you know, God to do something, or for their higher power to do something different in their lives, but they're not doing anything different in their lives in order to get anything. You know what I mean? Like, I can't say, you know, God bless me with a car, and I'm not looking at cars. I'm not thinking about cars. I'm not going online to view the different options of cars. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not putting well, here we go with the spiritual. The Bible says, faith without works is dead. You know what I mean? So, in terms of me wanting something different for myself, I literally couldn't stay where I was. I couldn't stay where I was because like, you fall into patterns. You know, you wake up, you do the same thing every day, go to bed. Wake up, do the same thing, go to bed. And this is something about as different as I could possibly get. I've never encountered people like this. I mean, complete strangers who are willing to say hello to you and be ultra friendly and things of that nature. And like, I came here feeling like the biggest bitch on the planet because folks would just be smiling at me. And I'm like, the fuck is y'all staring at? Like, but that's just the nature of people here. And I'm not going to tell you it's all perfect. It's certainly not, but it's very different for me. It's different in a good way, you know, and it's what I need right now. It's definitely what I need. I have children out here that, you know, I've never, having lived on the East Coast, I've never been able to give the attention that I felt that I wanted to or that I felt they deserved. And now I have that option and I'm utilizing it and you know what I mean? And even beyond my kids, and it's hard for me to say that, but even beyond my kids, this is for me. This is for me. And I'm doing what I have to do. I mean, y'all, okay. I'm hoping y'all can see this. I hope y'all got a glimpse of that. I mean, it's so far from what I'm used to, you know? There's grass and there's trees and it's not a concrete jungle. You know, it's hard not to feel a sense of rest here. And I do. And I love that. So here I am. So I feel like I've certainly kept y'all long enough. And I will let you go. But I wanted to let y'all know what was going on with me. And with the scooter in the background. So that's where it's at, y'all. I will be back incredibly soon. Y'all know how I do. And until next time, YouTube, as always and always and always. I'm so happy right now. Wow. One love.